Welcome to another installment of the Driving Diary Guy. I am stuck in wonderful New Jersey traffic. JeanMontague had an interesting comment responding about how they'd watched the Dante London videos and noticed the pattern that I pointed out, that it's kind of repetitive. And it's like, you got him saying like, oh, YouTube's changing lives, I'm buying cars, I'm living the good life. And then you have his wife or girlfriend, or I think it's his wife, being like, yeah, get it, as like his hype girl, just kind of like repeating what he says. And you're not really learning how to succeed on YouTube. So let me, I guess, give you some basic things. So there's this thing called YouTube automation. I don't particularly like it. I think it's kind of scammy in terms of what they sell you or trying to sell you. But I think in terms of content production, there are some fundamental truths that they are actually pretty spot on. Typically, YouTube, you can have a huge subscriber count, but you can have a dead channel. Subscriber count is a dead metric. Basically, what you got to do is you got to figure out what kind of content are you going to make? What is your niche? What is your specialty? What do you want to talk about? Are you going to be like a football guy? Are you going to talk about the Giants? Are you going to be a video game guy? Are you going to talk about a specific game? Don't be too broad. You need to figure out what you're going to focus in on, whether it's going to be like a small fandom that like focuses in on like one special anime. You don't want to be too niche focused. So like, I don't know, let's say you're the ultimate, Game of Thrones fan, but once Game of Thrones is done, ends its run, you don't have much to do. So you're just kind of like scraping the bottom of the barrel. So in a way, you're probably already prepped for this, because chances are you probably want to make content that's similar to what you like to watch. Now, this is the trickiest part. You need to sort of figure out what can you achieve on your own, because, a lot of people in automation and even Mr. Beast talk about ideation. I think ideation is cute, but it's very subjective. Like, the idea is that like you come up with 100 video ideas, and then you try and figure out what is the top 5, what is the most the one that gets you most excited, what is the ones that your friends and family tell you is the most exciting, and that's generally great. I think anyone can ideate. It would be an amazing video: 100 gorillas fighting 100 tigers, and then you film it. I'd love to see that. Can you buy 100 gorillas and 100 tigers? Probably not. You need ideas that you can execute on. So I would figure out from the niche that you want to work in and the level of creators that you like in that niche, which one seems the most approachable, which one seems on a level that you can recreate with your technical abilities whatsoever. There's a lot of, you use CapCut is supposedly very popular free to use editing software. You can use something like Adobe Premiere for something more professional. Lots of softwares out there, a lot of free tools like Canva, Adobe Express to kind of like give you a little bit more production values that give you a lot of templates. But the question is, what can you do on your own? Or you could pay someone. There are 1 billion and one people who want to edit YouTube content that can add in motion graphics and whatnot, but it's all a question of what you want to invest. And chances are, if you're just starting out, all you've got is like very limited tools and time. And that's what it is. It's a huge time sink, because you can't control what videos will hit and which ones will not. You can try, you can research, you can look up things, trending topics on Google Trends. You can put in search bar to give you an idea of what people are looking for. But the only thing you can control is consistency. That's what you got to do, is come up with a format that allows you to consistently post content and then iterate and see what works. That is the best thing you can do, and avoid burnout. Try not to create something that doesn't take a lot of time. Like, I don't know, there's this guy I saw doing anime skits, and he had this really big post about how he was just kind of having a huge mental breakdown because he was having to edit it himself. The videos that he achieved a level of quality where all his videos are like 20 minutes. They require lots of different mediums and motion graphics. He doesn't have any editors. They're all available different for different projects. The one he spent like 1 billion hours ago didn't really work, and he's just so burnt out and not quite sure what to do. He's successful enough. He had like 700K subscribers, but because he, in terms of scripting and ideation and actually executing on it, he was taking 9 months to post his next video, which is, not great, because he'd reached a plateau and had not kind of built a mechanism on how to produce and kind of take that mental strain. That's what you need to do, is figure out what you can create that will not take as much mental strain. I mean, most pro YouTubers have a team. They have editors that do it for themselves. You're on your own, so you need to figure out what you can make that will hopefully appeal to an audience, what your it factor is, and something you can produce regularly and consistently. Because consistency is all you got. And you've got the huge hurdle of you need 1,000 subs and you need the 4,000 hours of watch time. I think the 1,000 subs aren't as difficult as people think. What'll really drive you insane is the 4,000 hours of watch time. That's effing brutal. I'm working on that on a side channel, and oh boy, that's a big hurdle to overcome. But that's what you want to figure out: what kind of content you want to make, a game plan of how you can make that content, and how you can produce it without driving yourself insane. Those are the kind of 3 pillars you need. I'd also recommend trying to figure out how to produce decent thumbnails. Thumbnails are super important. This channel, I'm like intentionally going for a lo-fi aesthetic. So for the time being, I'm just going to have like shitty screens of the video. See how that works. Considering that, I got 51 views. Yeah. I'd say it's working pretty well. 3 subscribers. I'm amazed. YouTube's really helping people get rich. But you just got to have iterating. I'll give you a little story. You never know one's going to hit or why. So I did this video on my main channel talking about The Dark Knight. And I made it because The Dark Knight's 10th anniversary was coming out. And that's the reason I made the video for it. Didn't do that great. Did about as well as my usual videos are. But then, like 3 or 4 months later, there was news that Henry Cavill was being dropped as the role of Superman, and then people were like, "Oh my God, the DC universe, the DC extended universe, is it dead? Is it dying? What's going on? Is it dead? What do we do?" And because that topic was trending, and the video was like perfectly placed because it had a good title, then it blew up. It got like 2.5 million views. So sometimes the right topic and the right opportunity. But chances are, if you're like trying to do like a really big topic that like everyone's talking about, like, oh, I want to talk about Squid Game. There's a billion other people who can talk about Squid Game. But, iterate, figure out your niche, find out your kind of like definitive selling point. That's what you need. And that's why I'm being honked at the mean streets of New Jersey, because my definitive selling point is getting off on this exit. But if you can figure out, like, what do you bring? Like, for an example, an example of, like, kind of low-effort content that does really well is the Critical Drinker, everyone's favorite Scottish YouTuber. His videos are not especially well edited. He does a lot of repetitive jokes. But what his definitive edge is that usually he's kind of witty. He's very sincere, and he's got a great effing accent. He's got a great, amazing accent. And like the minute you listen to one of his videos, you understand why he appealed. The funny Scottish guy. I like the funny Scottish guy. That's fantastic. That's what I want to be. The funny Scottish guy. And because of that, he's got 2 million views. Most of his views, get 1 million views. Chances are his thumbnails suck. But he's just built that over time, that he's the authentic guy who likes action cinema and conventional storytelling. and doesn't like woke DEI stuff. And because of that, he's like the king of the heap of the chuds. He's the supreme chud lord who had enough clout to make his own short film. Whether or not you will become that remains to be seen, but you just got to make stuff and figure out what your competitive edge is and what niche you want to do and what you can provide to that niche that hopefully people will want to listen to your videos. And if you can hit that thing of right topic, a thumbnail that is appealing, a good title, then you get high CTR and then AVD, which is average view duration. You want that high average view duration because you can get the holy trinity: high CTR, high view AVD, average view duration, or AVD, and suitable engagement, which means like a decent amount of likes, comments. Because if you don't get those, then YouTube probably won't expand the reach of the audience of people it shows your video to. That is the holy trinity. How you get it? It's always changing. It is the riddle of the Sphinx. Nobody really knows for certain. It's really easy to find, channels with huge subscriber counts that don't are not getting the kind of viewership they once did, but just coast on their back catalog. But you're just starting out, and you've got the insurmountable wall of 1,000 subs plus the 4,000 hours of watch time. So I hope this helps. I hope this advice clarifies things. Respond in the comments if you found this useful. Go get that bread, because chances are I don't think the jobs are going to get much better in the Trump administration. I think there'll be a lot of companies getting huge stock buybacks, but I don't think the illusion of everyone's just going to let you get in a job. I remember the first Trump term, and, I still had trouble getting a job, just like I did in the Obama terms, and just like I did in the Biden administration. It never changes. It just never changes. HR people are just really difficult, and all their job is to just prevent you from having a decent life. So I hope this advice helps you on the YouTube grind, and see you whenever I do my next video.